When Lance was 11, he really wanted to play baseball. He was already playing soccer, and each of his siblings also had extracurricular activities. His mom told him no, but he begged and pleaded and pouted and whined until his parents relented. He was halfway through the season when he realized how tired his mom looked. Both his parents worked on top of driving him and his siblings to all of their activities. None of them were old enough to drive yet. He saw the exhaustion around her eyes, weighing down her kind, gentle smile. She never told him, but he could feel it. He quit baseball and only stuck to soccer because he and his brother had practiced at the same time in the same field. He started helping his mom to do more chores and convinced his siblings to help him make her breakfast in bed. It was then that he learned that it wasn't always about his own happiness. Pidge, why didn't you tell me that your friends were hot? Lance whined, feet dragging against the pavement. Pidge made a hot face. He's not hot. He's Keith. Lance narrowed his eyes at her, lips pursing in a small frown. And Keith is hot. Pidge shrugged, using the moment to high her bag up higher on her shoulder. I never noticed. Keith is the guy that Lance catcalled this morning. Hunk supplied. Pidge raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? Hunk nodded. Yeah, the guy had his hair in a ponytail, and after they left, he grabbed me and said, Hunk, it's pretty ponytail guy. It's him. He's even cuter up close. Lance snorted, rolling his eyes as he straightened. Okay, for one, I don't sound like that, and for two, yes, I'm sure, Pidge. I never forget a pretty face. Pidge nodded, but chose not to comment. Lance was grateful for that. Point is, you should have warned me. I didn't really think it was necessary. Besides, you handled it well enough. Hunk raised an eyebrow, expression skeptical. Did he? Because I know how he gets, and Keith could barely look at him when you guys got back. H-Ray Mom. Yeah, but that's just Keith. Lance got him to smile, and laugh for that matter. That says something. Lance perked up at that. It does? Pidge nodded, pulling out her phone. I know Keith, and trust me, if he was annoyed with you, you know it. Lance's smile faded for a moment, line creasing between his brows. Are you sure? 'Cause I mean, yeah, I'm charming as hell, and who wouldn't want me, right? And yeah, he was smiling, but Hunk has point. He'll barely look at me before they laugh. That's not usually a good sign. He looked to Hunk for support, but the big guy just shrugged. Pidge snorted, not looking up from their phone. That's not annoyed Keith. That's embarrassed Keith. Odds are he thinks you're cute. Well, that brightened him right up, and a grin that spread his lips was so wide it ached in his cheeks. Really? Don't make me say it again. His grin curled into something more cocky, one eyebrow raising as he put one hand to his hip, gesturing himself with the other. I mean, who could blame him? Who could resist all of this? Statistically, a lot of people, Pidge said dryly. Ouch. Truth hurts. You're a rude little gremlin. I think you're irresistible, buddy. Thanks, hon. That's why you're my fave for life. Aw, Lance, you're my fave too. Bro. Could you guys stop being gay for like 2 seconds so we can figure out what to do for dinner? Hunk hummed thoughtfully. Takeout and cheap beer? Lance stretched his arms over his head, groaning pleasantly. Classic. Sounds good to me. Pidge shrugged. I'm down. They steered their course toward town, leaving the docks behind and heading toward the main strip. They were across the street from all the busy restaurants, all the ones that were filling up quick as tourists and athletes poured into town. Hunk and Pidge were deciding where to go, debating the pros of each, but Lance turned them out. He didn't really care. He'd eat anywhere. His gaze roamed the crowds, and he didn't realize what he was looking for until he saw a familiar mop of dark hair. He froze mid-step, breath catching in his lungs as he did the double take. Yes, there, sitting outside one of the restaurants. Keith. Keith in his messy, wind-swept hair, just a hair too long in the back out, curling against the nape of his neck in the cutest of ways. Keith and his pouted lips pressed into a frown. Keith and his thick brows furrowed as he scowled across the table at his brother and Allure. He was sunk low in his chair, one arm crossed over his chest while his other hand gaily stroked up and down his beer glass. Phew. Pale, long fingers roughened it with calluses. Lance? What's up, buddy? He glanced at his friends, seeing them both stop a few steps away, and Hap turned to look at him with mere expressions of confusion. He looked back to the tables across the street, eyes instantly finding him. There's Keith, he said, trying and probably failing to sound nonchalant. Then, as an afterthought, and Shira and Allura. They followed his gaze, both of them making sounds of acknowledgement. So it is. Want to go say hi? Paige asked, a playful edge to her voice. What? Lance whipped around to gap at her. No, I mean, yes? Can we even do that? Would that be weird? Paige rolled their eyes so hard, their body moved. I've known them for years. I know them for years, Lance. Of course it wouldn't be weird. Yeah, but for me? With how hard you flirted with Keith, I'm not sure they'd be surprised. Hey! You know, Hank said, drawing both of their attention. He scratched the back of his neck, eyes flickering between them. Lance, crush aside, it's not a crush. They did seem pretty cool people. Like you said, Pitch, they've been your friends for years. Maybe we should do something with them? Like invite them out somewhere, show them around New Zealand? Lance made a strangled sound in the back of his throat and tried to cover it up with a cuff. He couldn't tell if Hank was windmanning him or just being honest, but either way he was down. He was so down. Spending more time with handsome McMullet. Sign them up. That's not a bad idea, Paige said, then sent a wicked grin towards Lance and pinning him with her sharp amber gaze. If Lance can keep it in his pants. Excuse? What do you think we should do with them? Sounds like they haven't really had time to do much. Hank scratched his chin thoughtfully, rubbing against the stubble that was growing there. Paige shrugged. I don't know. I've gotten a chance to ask why they'd be interested in. Keith said Shira has strict low exercise policy before races, so any of the hiking options are out. Which, might I add, sucks, because it's gorgeous around here. Two of them hummed their agreement, and they lapsed into silence. Lance crossed his arms over his chest and leaning his weight to one hip. He watched Keith, watched Shira lean back in his chair and laugh, watched Allura lean across the table with a smirk, watched Keith shift uncomfortably in his seat. What would be fun to do with him? Probably anything, if he was being honest, but he wanted something really fun, something to get Keith to open up a little bit, somewhere Lance could maybe show off a little, somewhere where he was sure to get Keith to smile. He snapped his fingers. Rotorua! Huh? What? He turned to his friends, grinning wide as he practically bounced the ball to his feet. Rotorua! He grabbed Pidge's shoulders and shook her. Rotorua! It's perfect! And before they could say anything else, Lance was diving across the street. He barely heard his friend's exasperated sighs over the sound of the car horns, but he ducked and weaved around them, waving off angry drivers before throwing himself headlong into the maze of tables. By the time he reached their table, all three of them had heard the commotion and were staring at him with varying expressions. Keith's mouth hung open, eyes wide. Lance lapped his hands on the table, grinning between the three of them. Rotorua! Silence. Shira cleared his throat. Nice to see you again, Lance. Allura was quick to compose himself. What was that? Rotorua! He turned his grin to Keith. He seemed to shrink under the weight of it, but Lance couldn't be deterred. We should go to Rotorua. But then Pidge had caught up to him. Pidge put a hand on Lance's shoulder, shoving him to the side. Oh, what Lance is trying to say is that you guys should come out to Skyline Rotura with us tomorrow. If you know you don't have any plans, Hunk added, poking his pointer fingers together before weaving them all together. We just thought it might be nice to all hang out, and well, Lance thought Skyline, so they got a gondola and a zip line and a sky swing and a lunch, Lance said, making a wild gesture for each thing. He looked between the three of them, but was pleased to know that Keith's attention stayed fixed on him. He met his eyes, then smiled into something more calm as nervous hope burned in his chest. What do you say, Keith? He had a minute for his voice to be that soft. Luckily, he had the pleasant effect of making his collarbones flush. Boy, why he wouldn't get to touch those collarbones. Maybe leave a few marks. Keith turned across the table. Shiro? The old man shrugged, and he smiled on his face. I don't see why not. Lila grinned, clapping her hands together. Oh, it sounds lovely. What a great idea. I should invite Cran. Pidge shrugged. Oh, sure. Hunk grinned. The more the merrier. Keith snuck a sheepish look at Lance through his lashes, a small smile at the corner of his lips. Lance felt the excitement burning through his veins. The view is absolutely gorgeous, Ola agreed, leaning forward in her seat on the gondola. It's better to see the lake as they rose up the mountain. She had tried, half standing to get better pictures, was pulled back down by Shiro when the cab started rocking. Yes, it is, Lance said quietly, half turned in his seat with his arms folded over the back of it. When Keith glanced at him, their eyes met, and Lance's smile curved a little more. Keith looked back out the window behind him. The ride up the mountain was slow, but it gave them plenty of time to appreciate the landscape. The lake far below stretched out far, dotted with islands and bordered with small mountains, scattered with trees. The water was like glass, perfectly reflecting the sky and the clouds, glittering where the sun hit it, marred only where the boats cut across the surface. A long, slow ride for Keith to stare out across the New Zealand landscape, ignoring the press of Lance's leg against his own, the way their arms brushed. Hitch was pressed to his other side, but it wasn't nearly as distracting. Hey, turn around, she said, and then Keith made the mistake of listening. He blinked at the camera's shutter sound, face morphing to a scowl. His phone remained raised, and suddenly there was an arm around his shoulders, a body leaning to his side. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Lance holding up a peace sign, face pulled up a wide grin, the smell of him filling Keith's nose. He kept his eyes fixed on Shiro, flipping off the camera. We're not going to be able to show anyone our vacation photos, he commented mildly, smirk fixed in place. Let's chuckle. That never stopped you from showing people before. I think they've just come to expect it from Keith. True. Lance's arm fell away, returned to rest across the back of their bench seat. Ready to get your ass kicked on the lunch? He asked, leaning back against the side cab. Keith glanced at him. Why not have a race? Lance tilted his chin down, waggling his eyebrows as he smirked. Because we're totally going to race. Keith scooped, crossing his arms and looking away. Pidge nodded his side with her elbow. What's the matter, Keith? She teased. It's not like you turned down a challenge. Especially a racing one, Shiro added. Keith rolled his eyes to the side, tilting his head and making a show of nonchalantly looking up at Lance up and down. The boy made a visible effort not to squirm. Then he felt the corner of his lips quirk into a small smile. I think it's just cute that he thinks he can win. Lance made a strangled sound, and everyone laughed. He recovered quickly, though, leaning into Keith and saying in a low voice, At least you think I'm cute. Keith felt a shiver run down his spine, but met Lance's eyes steadily, a spark igniting deep in his gut. We'll see how cute you are when you're eating my dust, Lance chuckled, the sound washing over him, his fingers slipping from the back to the seat to twirl a piece of his hair. Try not to lean to the touch. Bring it, mullet!